So one of the most common questions I've seen about running a local AI on your own PC is a really simple one. What can my computer actually run? Because there are hundreds of these local AI models out there now. Some tiny, some absolutely massive. And if you pick one that's too big for your hardware, it either crawls along painfully slow or it just won't load at all. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to work out what your PC can handle, and it comes down to two numbers you already have. One simple rule, and then a free page I put together that does the whole thing for you, without you having to install anything. Now, like I said, it really comes down to two numbers, and the first one is your VRAM, which is the memory on your graphics card. To find it, you can open up Task Manager by right-clicking on the Start button and then clicking on Task Manager, then go to the Performance tab and click on GPU. And then you'll notice a value down here that says Dedicated GPU Memory. That number right there is your VRAM. And it's the important one, because that's the fast memory an AI model wants to sit inside. The more of it you have, the bigger the model you can run, and the quicker it'll respond. Now, if you don't have a dedicated graphics card and you don't see a GPU listed there at all, don't worry, that's completely normal. It just means your VRAM is basically 0 and the model will run on your normal system memory instead. And that's the second number, your RAM. You can see that in the same Task Manager window under Memory. So that's really it, your VRAM and your RAM. And once you've got those two numbers written down, you can work out what actually fits. So here's the simple rule of thumb for what fits. A model size is measured in billions of parameters, and that's the B you'll see in the name, like an 8B model or a 4B model. And very roughly, at the normal quality setting most people use, a model needs a little over half a gig of memory for every billion parameters. So an 8B model works out to around 5 gigs, and ideally that needs to fit inside your VRAM, if you want it to be nice and fast. If it doesn't fit, it spills over onto your slower system memory. And that's exactly when the response of this AI model becomes very slow. Now, the good news is you don't actually have to sit and do that math yourself, because there's a free app called LM Studio that does it for you. When you search for a model inside it, you'll notice each version gets a little green, yellow, or red badge, based on the RAM and the VRAM it detects in your machine. So it's a really handy way to check before you commit to downloading something huge. But here's my one issue with LM Studio. You've got to install it first before it'll tell you any of that, because it has to check the hardware on your machine. And I wanted something that tells you what to expect before you install a single thing. So I put together this page on my website, and I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. All you do is type in your two numbers, your RAM and your VRAM. And it's not just about a simple yes or no. Have a look at each card here, because every model gets an honest verdict, whether it's worth your time, whether it'll work but you'll need a bit of patience, or whether it's honestly just not worth it on your hardware. It gives you the size, the exact name to run, and what to actually expect speed-wise, like reading speed or a word at a time. And it splits them into two groups: the everyday models that are great for questions and writing, and then the ones that are better for coding and the more agent-style tools, which tend to need a bit more hardware. And it covers the whole range, from an 8 gig laptop with no graphics card at all, right up to the high-end machines. So as an example, if you typed in 16 gigs of RAM and no graphics card, it'd point you at something small like a 4B model that still runs at a comfortable reading speed. And it'd tell you that the bigger stuff just isn't worth it for you yet. And if you happen to be on an Apple Silicon Mac, you can just tick this little box and it instantly filters down to the models that actually make sense for your machine. And that's really the whole point of it. Nobody should have to waste an evening downloading some massive model, sitting there waiting for it, and then finding out it barely runs. So you can check first, then you pick something that actually fits your machine, and you get a good experience the very first time. And because these models change so often, I'm keeping that page updated, so the picks will stay current. So now you know how to find your two numbers, the simple rule for what fits, and a free way to see what's actually worth running before you download anything at all. Now, this video is part of a series I'm putting together on running AI locally, on your own PC, and doing it safely. So if that's something you're into, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of it. I've already created the first episode of the series, which is setting up a virtual machine and installing Windows 11 on it. So if you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and click on the video that's on screen now. But if you got any value out of this video, please do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps out more than you know, and it lets me know that you want more content like this.